stranded? If you have, let me tell you about someone else in the Bible who has been in your shoes too. He was stranded, but God was listening. The key verse for today is Jeremiah 33:3. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. When King Nebuchadnezzar took over Babylon, he took the most intelligent and the most handsome young men to help him in his palace. A young man named Daniel and a few of his friends were taken to Babylon to be trained to work for the king. They were trained over a period of 3 years. And after that time, Daniel was specifically chosen because he had earned the king's trust. Daniel was very dedicated to his work, and he helped the king solve many problems, and he interpreted many dreams and helped explain what they meant. After King Nebuchadnezzar passed away, each king after entrusted Daniel to work for them, and he was continually praised for his hard work and his dedication to the people. Daniel was a Christian, and he prayed 3 times every day and was very dedicated to serving the Lord. King Darius was so happy and so pleased with Daniel that he gave Daniel all the responsibilities of running the entire kingdom. Now you can imagine that upset some people, and a few of the senior counselors became very jealous. The reason why they were jealous was mostly because they too had to follow Daniel's orders. 2 of the oldest counselors were afraid that they would not be needed anymore and that King Darius would just throw them out of the kingdom. So they decided to come up with a plan to get rid of Daniel. They went to the king and they praised him for all that he had done in the kingdom. They told him that there would be a rule that only the people should pray to him as the king for 30 days and nobody else. Darius really liked their idea. And they were sneaky too, because they knew that Daniel prayed to the only one true God. The counselors told King Darius that this would prove who was really truly loyal to the kingdom. And the king thought it was a great idea, but he said he wanted to ask Daniel first. But of course, the counselors made up an excuse and said that he didn't need to do that, and why should they waste time talking to Daniel when of course he would approve it and he would definitely agree. So King Darius signed the scroll declaring the law, thinking that Daniel would already approve and that he knew about it. The 2 men knew when Daniel was going to be praying, and so they sent soldiers to his house and they arrested him. He did not know about the law, but they took him to the king, and the king was very sad. He realized that the counselors were plotting against Daniel, but he felt helpless because he knew that when the law was passed, even though he didn't want it to happen, he was even not above the law, and neither could Daniel. So Daniel was strong, and he knew that he served the one true God, and he was ready to face any punishment that he was given. King Darius felt like he had no other option but to throw him into the lion's den. He told Daniel that he hoped that the God he served would save him. So Daniel was taken into the lion's den and thrown in. King Darius couldn't even sleep because he was so upset about what he had done. He was afraid his favorite servant would be torn apart by the lions. The next morning, he ran to the lion's den and called out to Daniel. And at first, he didn't hear anything. He wanted to see if Daniel was okay and if the God that he served had protected him. To his surprise, Daniel responded back. The lions didn't even touch him. Can you believe it? God sent an angel to shut the mouths of the lions. King Darius ordered the soldiers to remove Daniel immediately. He came out unharmed without even a scratch. King Darius knew that Daniel's God must have kept him safe, and was listening to Daniel's prayers. When news of what happened to Daniel spread around the kingdom, the two counselors knew that their evil plan had failed. Guess where they ended up? That's right. King Darius threw them into the lion's den, and the lions ate them right up. King Darius took away the law and made a new one that said that the people were only to pray and worship Daniel's God, the one true God. So Daniel continued to serve the king and pray and worship the one true God until he died. Have you ever been in a tough situation and didn't know what to do? Pray. God is listening. He may not answer your prayers right away, but in his own perfect timing and his perfect way, he will. When you feel stranded, God is listening. Remember the key verse, Jeremiah 33:3. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Sometimes you might be stranded, but God is listening. I hope you take what you've learned today and let your light shine and tell others so that they too can know the truth.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day, every day, in every way. I'm gonna let my little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day, every day, in every way. I'm gonna let my little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day, every day, in every way. I'm gonna let my little light shine. On a Monday,
He gave me the gift of love.
on a
His
Tuesday,
peace came down from above.
on a
He
Wednesday,
told me just what to say.
on a Thursday,
He taught me just how to pray.
on a Friday,
He gave me just a little more faith.
on a
He
Saturday,
gave me a lot more grace.
On a Sunday,
He gave me the power divine
to let my little light
shine.
This little light of mine,
Hallelujah.